We are a few minutes late there. Sorry about that. It's been a little bit of a busy day. So,
A
this is
little?
a little. Basically, we're just going to hang out for a little bit and just chit chat about the year end gaming that's been going on this whole last year. Lots of you have been gaming. We've been gaming. So, that's pretty much what we thought we would talk about since the year is wrapping up. And of course, you have a new year coming on where you can um, just have all sorts of fun, right? Looks like it's going to be fun. Anyways, so hopefully you guys all have a good new year, a great new year, and not any problems. Everybody's had enough problems to deal with. None of us need any more of that. For instance, today was going to do a show earlier and got called into work, so really wasn't able to do anything earlier.
Keegan and Charles, hello and Happy New Year's.
Hello, Keegan and Charles, and yep, I got called into work, so I didn't have a chance to do anything really. We've pretty much got our new videos up. I knew about us, so thank you guys for checking out that one. Hey, Brian from Weird World War II. Are we take what off, Ashley?
The close thing. There you go.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure, Brian, it's going to get weirder next year. I mean, the whole world's already getting weird, so I'm pretty sure things will be weirder next year. So you should be quite happy. It should be good. It will most definitely be interesting, it looks like. And hopefully, you guys all have a good, safe new year coming up and family fun and whatnot. My daughter's birthday is today, so even though she's not little anymore, every year I always sit with her and watch the ball drop. So
it's been a family tradition for 32 years.
Well, now see,
so
it will be fun.
Mythos.
Hey, Mythos, how are you, sir? Hopefully, you have a good New Year's also. So we were just gonna sit and just do something a little different and see what you guys wanted to talk about. What games you enjoyed this year? Just having an end of the year gaming thing, So, Crystal's all it's my favorite thing. Thanks for calling out my age, Ashley. Hey, it's been a tradition, Crystal. We'll keep doing it till I'm dead, and we'll take it from there. That'll probably be when I get some rust.
It's not completely dry, but
Charles says he's always liked the words strangely odd but appealing. Hey, that works. I mean, everybody that we know, all you guys here, everybody's had fun throughout the year, good growth on everyone's channels, and you know what? It's just been fun. So that's the most important thing. I would like to say though, I didn't do as much gaming with all you guys as I would like to do next year, and we have the capability to stream it to your channel too. So if you guys want to do something, let us know. We'll set up a schedule. Mythos, we talked about that. Weird World War II. Brian, you're more than welcome to do that too. Charles. So we got the ability to do that, and it'll be a fun thing. Keegan would like to do more Warhammer. I agree. I think so.
He just wants to get his ass.
He just wants to get into it with Ashley's monstrous Tyranids over here. So
it's not completely dry, but his is done.
Looks good. Like a snowball fight.
Yeah.
Except they don't know what you're showing. Here.
So with our 3D printer, I printed my son some little penguins, and you're gonna. Yeah, because I have any room over here whatsoever on my desk.
You're okay. You can move stuff out of the way. Yeah, she made little penguins throwing snowballs. Can't really. There you go. You can kind of see the snowballs. The light's reflecting off them.
That pile is right there.
There. What do you think, Crystal?
There's that pile better. They each got one in their hand.
Huh? Brian, the Weird World War II says channel versus channel. Oh, yeah, you could do that. I don't see why not. I guess that's more or less just thinking gaming in general, but we could do a versus thing. And Ito says he's looking forward to gaming with us in the summer.
Well, I got Brittany started as well, Crystal. No.
See those big nasty things? Those are what she's sending my way.
Not just yours.
Keegan's way. That's a dog.
It diesel. So
kind of, sort of. Yeah, so it's I think it's going to be a good year as far as gaming goes for everybody. And with that March to Victory coming up, that will be fun to do again. You can see that Ashley goes from...
Tell your boyfriend give me some resin and I can do one. I'll find a lab for you.
So what I was going to say is, look at this terrible killing creature that you make. And then the next thing's little penguins throwing snowballs.
I can be versatile.
That's a pretty big swing.
I got a dinosaur.
Keegan says, channel versus channel Warhammer. Ashley and him will destroy people. Okay. I can't make that claim. I'm pretty sure if I went against Mythos or Freak or
no, we would get our asses handed to them. Doesn't matter what army you have.
I would be decimated. Undying Necrons and Tyranids. I think if Necrons and Tyranids were combined together, it would be pretty hard to fight that off. Charles says he's painting orcs, not a part of his.
Yeah, you know how badly I want to start that painting challenge, but I can't until after the ball. Yeah. I have all this stuff on my desk.
That's okay, though. You could start it. Well,
I have to wait till midnight.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I gotta.
Here, Mythos. This guy's done.
Brian says he's been making a Slanesh Corrupted Sisters.
Hey, Steven.
Yeah, probably not on my channel there, Weird World War II, but I can only imagine. Hello, Steve. Happy New Year to you, sir. And hopefully you and your family are healthy and well this next year, man. Yeah, that's the one that she's already painted, but
that's the one I did last week. I finished him off.
Thing weighs about a pound.
Yeah, he's like freaking heavy.
Massive. Pretty massive. So, what's you shaking paint for? Oh, that one. Mythos says he's pretty casual, so he's not going to profess to destroying anyone. You have way more knowledge, sir. This is what the penguins are going to play with. Hi, little penguin. How are you today? What? You threw snowballs? See, that's not fair. That's not fair. You got to wait for this one, too.
No, he wasn't in my thing.
Oh.
So,
okay. So she's going to paint that then, I guess, while we're talking. She just wants to paint, so.
I have to get 1,000 points.
For what?
Keegan, he wants to do after when we go over to Crystal's.
Today?
He wants to do 1,000 points. Now I got to debate on which ones I want to take. Because I got all these new guys.
The ones that hurt the most.
Yeah, it's going to hurt.
Find out the snowballs are here triggered mini nukes. Yeah, that's a possibility, man.
So, Keegan, yeah, I need more resin because one of my guys shoots basically mines.
It's a mine layer,
it's
right?
It's a mine thrower.
Mines. What was that?
I don't know. It does that off and on. I don't know what it is. Usually it's like the sound of someone trying to get in, but...
It's more like a message. Yeah, nobody's trying to get in. So that's, I mean,
Tegan?
what?
T-Gun? T-G-U-N-N.
Oh, Tegan.
Tegan.
The studio. Hi,
Yep.
Tegan. How are you? We are talking about games in general. Just,
All right.
well, at this point, Warhammer a little bit,
So
but
let's see
games that were
who
done
I'm
throughout
gonna
the year.
bring out.
But yeah, I mean, the whole year has been a fun year for us as far as the gaming goes. It's been a little bit chaotic, work-wise and all that stuff, but it looks like that's calming down. We just have to survive whatever 2024 is going to throw at us. And I mean, by all accounts in the papers, we should all be dead everywhere, but who knows? I just kind of blow a lot of that off and go, well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. And that's all I do is get up and keep going. Weird World War II is like, Charles painting orcs? No. Yeah, Charles likes his orcs. So, and, I mean, it's just, I think I'm a little excited, man, for next year, especially for what I see all you guys doing, what we're doing. Everybody's got their own little plans they want to do. So I'm just kind of hoping it all works out for all of us, everything we're all doing. And, just keep going forward and having fun. So we're very happy with all of you showing up and supporting us, and we're going to try to support all of you guys through the rest of the next year and beyond. So I think Mito says that was in the friendship contract somewhere. I don't know. Maybe he was watching too much of, what was that show? Oh my God, was Sheldon in it? Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang.
Yeah, he had a Big Bang Theory. He had a friendship contract, right?
It was a roommate contract.
Well, me and Mythos aren't going to be roommates, but I think it's in the contract. We just have like an unwritten one. So, anyways, yeah, you've mentioned the Dragon Rampart rules for the bigger fights. Before, Charles, and I'm completely unfamiliar with them. I'm betting Weird World War II knows something about those, but I'm unfamiliar with it, so it'd be interesting. And Fistful of Lead's pretty good for the small battles, so it works out too. And I guess I've got to try to figure out what I'm going to do once I get these others going for what we're going to do. You know what I mean? Like, we got to figure out a rule set that's going to work with these Texas Rangers against the Apes. We'll have to see. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with it.
Oh my, ouch. This is going to hurt.
What's going to hurt?
I ain't going to have shit.
Wow. Oh, so this Avinish says he likes pinball. Hey, we like pinball too. If you could get a pinball machine and stick it in the house or the garage, that would be fantastic. Used to have one. The kid's grandfather had one, and the old kind where the numbers rolled up, and that would be fantastic to play again. And somebody asked me earlier too about Pogs. He's like, yeah, well, we know what Pogs are. They used to be highly popular. Charles says that those rules aren't perfect, but good enough for him. Yeah, hey, if it works for you on the rules on your games, then hey, use it. I mean, that's all you can do. Keegan says you can go up to 2,000 points if you want Ashley on your Warhammer army. Ooh, Weird World War II says he has the X-Files machine in his room. You guys all see those, the half versions, I think the Big Blue store sells them and others, but they're like the old arcade games like Pac-Man and Galaga and all that are half, they're about half the same size that they used to be.
Now?
Oh, yeah, Meethers, you remember Pogs? Yep, that was asked on a comment on one of our videos.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, I remember Pogs. Pogs, a lot of people were into that. It was pretty popular for a while there.
I need to get rid of some.
Charles is going to be at 135 orcs when his last 2 dozen are done. Jeez. So I guess Charles, 135 orcs makes a pretty impressive army there. Oh, geez, World War II said he used to have 12 arcade machines and 4 pinball machines. Pinball machines are just they're kind of fun. I like them. We have a place called the Quarter Barrel here in town where you can go get pizza, and it's named after some of the old arcade games and whatnot. But that's all it is, old arcade games with pinball machines. And they're the original pinball games, and the original arcade machines. So it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. If you're going to go out and spend some money, then you go out and you have some fun. Hey, iDoc, how are you, sir?
Hello, iDoc.
Thank you for sharing it. We appreciate it. Hopefully you have a good New Year, sir. We're just chit-chatting about games right now. Pinball games and old arcade games, which all of us grew up on, things like Asteroids and Dig Dug and Galaga and Centipede and stuff. I will agree with you there. Brian says pinball machines are hard to maintain. Yeah, you gotta know what you're doing, because when you lift up the lid on them, it's like, holy cow. So, but the one that grandfather had was, like I said, it wasn't digital. It was the rolling numbers, Yeah, Keegan says his son Aaron likes to play pinball at the Cracker at the Barrel. It's Quarter Barrel, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charles says in his world, orcs are intelligent, clean, and not murderous. Humans and orcs are the villainous ones. Wow. Well, why not? It's your world. You can kind of do what you want with it there. But if I had the extra money, I think it'd be cool to have some of those, replicas if you could get them. However, at least we got a place we could go get quarters and pizza and play games like the old days, kind of thing. Ugh. Pardon me. Oh, I think Brian was talking to Charles. He goes, "That sounds weird. Well done." Yep. As long as you have your imagination and you are able to maintain, right? Like, it's the one thing that you'd like to see people use more of. A little bit of imagination and just have some fun. Thankfully, you got tons of rules, or you can make your own. There's lots of rule systems out there these days. Plenty to choose from. So just pick one you like and go with it. For me, I'm still kind of throwing things around. I'll let you guys know when I figure it out. But I think I'm going to kind of do my own rules for this. What are you doing over there? Going through cards?
I am. If I'm bringing over a 2,000 point thing, I got to get my cards. And I have to have another container to put these bigger guys in, because mine ain't going to fit that big guy, even laying it on its side.
Yeah, some of those are pretty big. Like I said, the one model feels like it weighs close to a pound. It's pretty heavy, and that's even with it hollowed out on the resin printer, setting the settings to print it hollowed out.
Well, he's completely hollowed. I had to go and lower the thickness of the...
Nobody can see it.
I know. The thickness of the lining, basically.
This dude?
Yeah, so he's pretty thin. So it's like trying to put him together. It's like...
This one here is bulky heavy. This one here is just nasty, mean looking.
So I'm wondering, am I supposed to take these ones? Because that's what he shoots.
Yeah. Let's see here. Charles says he started this world in his old D&D days. continents and small and large islands. So many possibilities. So you've got a whole lot of, you have an unending scenarios you can use that way, Charles. That's one of the things I liked about the Stargate TV show. I mean, I hated when they pulled it because I enjoyed it, but
that's half of my
they
deck.
had unending possibilities and places to go. What?
That's half of my deck. Those are all the guys that I'm taking.
You're going to be in trouble, Keegan. The Tyranids are invading a Voton base. Oh, so Keegan wants to use overwhelming firepower against your Tyranids.
He can try. Again, he can try. I just have to figure out something for them. The spores, basically, that this guy shoots, the mines. Some kind of marker or something. Because I don't have the miniatures.
Well, just declare that it affects the whole table. Now, you don't need a marker. I'm just joking. You could try that. But what it lays mines.
Within 3 inches of it, it does mortal wounds. On a D6, it deals D3 mortal wounds.
Nice.
And that, unfortunately, it'll kill my own guys too.
Oh, Brian says he's got an STL for the spore mine.
I have one too. I just ran out of print or resin. So I have to wait until I get paid to get some.
Yeah.
If I have the money after paying bills.
We gotta pay bills?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh.
We have to. I don't feel like adulting today.
I don't want to adult either. So, it gets my day off. All right. I just kick it back, laying down and resting, and boom, 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 boom. The sewer is backing up. I'm like, oh, crap. Literally. So that was fun. That was fun to do. But overall, over the year, I think we had quite a bit of fun. It's just been, like I said before, a bit chaotic trying to get things worked out, but they're all starting to fall into place now for us. So I think this next year gaming is going to be much more organized and more fun. But I am going to try to get back to the podcast, like I've said 100 times, because that's something that worked pretty well for me anyways, and people liked it. So I felt good doing it because people wanted to listen. So plus I got equipment for it and whatnot, and it's just all sitting there going, Greg, use me. I'm like, I know, I'll have to put them to use. But
I found a bigger tote.
You found a bigger tote?
Yeah, it's all my cheap paints. You're
taking all the paints out?
I have to have something put him in.
Okay, calm down. Jeez.
Are you going to give me a bigger one than that? Because I don't think they make them.
What?
Of those cake ones?
No. So, well, that'll give you something to transport them in. I think she's a little excited about fighting you, Keegan, I would say.
Well, someone's going to kick his ass.
You got my Star Wars cup you're drinking out of?
Yours? What are you talking about, yours?
That was mine.
Keyword was.
Oh, okay.
And we're married, so nothing's yours.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's one thing you find out too, you guys. Everything.
I don't ask Mythos.
Ask him what?
If he has anything that's just his.
I bet he does. But yeah, it's so far so good. What are you doing now?
Trying to get him to figure out a way to get them in here where I can get them all in here.
Just make sure the lids are on. Snap shut. We'll see how well that works. I mean, Mythos says, Greg, use me is often what our models call out at our hobby shop. Yep. And anything that's just mine, like what? Oh, yeah, exactly like what? Anything that's mine is generally appropriated at some point. So, like, man, do you know where my shorts are? Oh, you're wearing them. Do you know where my pajama bottoms are? Oh, you're wearing them. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta hide stuff.
You sure try.
Oh, hello, Anonymous. That's funny. That's a cool name, Anonymous. So hopefully you're having a good year, and you'll have a better year. We're just chit chatting about games and the games we've been playing this year and what we'd like to do maybe for next year game wise. Mel lives in your t-shirts, Brian. Yeah, that happens sometimes. You just kind of go, well, that's okay. It's one of those things that happens. The opposite is though, I don't generally take anything of hers. I'm afraid I need my hands to paint with and stuff. The account formerly known as Taylor. That's you, Taylor? All right.
Oh, Taylor's on.
Yeah, I just didn't recognize the name. I thought, oh, okay, we got somebody in here with a kind of a cool, funny nickname, Anonymous. I like that. Nice. So Brian says, how's the Great White North? Yeah. That's cool, Taylor. I'm sorry. I didn't know you had changed your account name. But that's a nice, catchy little name. That'll work. He's being sneaky, Brian says. Yep. See that, Taylor? That'll get you some attention right there. Your weather's okay, and you have another doggy. She's being trained. What kind of dog did you get?
Puppy!
What kind of puppy? Ashley wants to know.
Puppy!
Yeah. Ooh, a short-haired pointer. Nice.
Be prepared for whiny nights.
Sometimes they whine. No, we had a German short-haired pointer. Excellent dog on
Oh,
pheasants.
he was a great hunter.
He could go out in the grass and get them field chickens like there was no tomorrow. Although it's super protective.
Yes, they are. They're very.
He was a very protective dog. So, yeah.
Big tote.
You found a big toad.
Big tote.
Your other dog is terrified of her? Sometimes that happens. When you first get one dog and bring it around another.
You.
That tends to happen.
You slide in there.
It's a little different, it's just going to depend on the breed too. We didn't really ever have too much of a problem with the dogs getting along. For a short time, Ashley had a pet rabbit named Alice.
Yeah, we adopted her and ended up having to give her a better home.
It's funny though, because that big, huge pet rabbit, nothing like a wild rabbit, those big long ears or whatever.
You liked her.
Dude, you'd be sitting there and the thing would run around, jump on the couch and jump up on your lap and want to be petted, and then jump down after you pet him 2 or 3 times.
Yep, she only wanted attention when she wanted it.
Caught her sleeping on the back of our dog one day.
She humped our dog.
No, she was sleeping on him though, on his back, on Cooper's back.
Yeah, she tried humping him.
Well, I don't know. It's a rabbit.
It's actually kind of funny.
That's disturbing, but thanks for sharing that with everybody, Ash. But yeah.
He moped for 2 weeks when we got rid of her?
Yeah, it's funny. He was a hunting dog, but he never did anything but goof off with her. If you went out hunting, then he would chase the rabbits too. But this one he didn't. This one he just played with. So, but I don't know. It's all good there, Taylor. Hopefully your dogs get along good.
I got room again.
Because you moved them. Now your desk looks empty, kind of, sort of.
Can't remember. Am I taking him?
I don't know.
No. So he's.
I don't know, but I guess
They're
Ashley
not
and
going.
Keegan are going to throw down a fight there when Keegan gets back tonight from his running around. So maybe we should do a battle report on that.
Yeah,
for
we will. All right.
New Year's Eve,
when Keegan dies again.
battle. Me, I'm just here for the coffee and the cake. Yep.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, somebody mentioned earlier on our YouTube channel. I'd have to look at it, but the comment was kind of cool that they go, "We just drink tea." We drink tea too, once in a while. Mostly coffee, but if you drink tea, you're more than welcome to be here. That's all good, by the way. So,
and we do have teas up on our shop too. So that finally got updated about a week ago.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta wait for them to do the updates and stuff you were asked, but that's cool. So just lots of stuff going on. And holy cow, that's the neighbor's car. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but our neighbor has one of those cars that sounds intentionally, he made it sound like it's broken, and it's not cool. It's actually annoying, but
I have a desk again.
Good. Now you got room to paint. One more day. Well, only a couple more hours, actually. Then you can. What are those creepy things up there on the top shelf?
These?
Yeah, that nobody can see on your camera. And then one next to it.
Him? That's a Neuraligic? Like Geologic?
I don't know. Put it down under your camera.
Let's see. Welcome, Oscar. Welcome, Andrew.
We are chit-chatting about gaming. All sorts of gaming. So, what kind of games do you guys like? Him?
Neuraligic?
Neurolictor. I don't know. Some of the names they come up with are weird.
I just don't have the points. I'm over 2,000 points. This? Yeah, it's a alternate Dreadnought for Greg. But we're going to see maybe... Because he's awful heavy, I might reprint.
This one is interesting because if you're playing Warhammer and this gets within 12 inches of an enemy unit, that's it. Then that unit must take a battle shock test.
Yeah. Because of the sight. Andrew said I like ball games. Well, that's nice. That's really cool. I say we do everything between Warhammer to video games to PC games to
just whatever. We're like a pinball or a pachinko game,
Pachinko. Ting 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 ting. Yep.
Yeah, that is.
Bring some terrain.
Is Keegan talking to you on the phone too?
Yeah, he's messaging me.
Tell him it's Warhammer. We're gonna play around all of his hopes and dreams he had this year, since they're shattered. We can use it as broken terrain, right, Mythos?
I might say screw it. Let's pull out
the walls and stuff. You got all that Warhammer.
Play a game called Edge of Champions.
Oh, cool. What is that?
No, Skyrim. The castle walls.
Yeah.
That's all 28 millimeter. All right, ready to go.
Oh, so you are going to start painting that?
I'm going to paint him, yeah.
That's such a big model that it is. Very tall, very bulky model there. So Andrew, what is Edge of Champions?
Probably baseball, most likely.
Well, that's why I'm asking. I'm not sure. Mythos says absolutely. So that's a good one there. Mythos and Taylor and Brian. We know Charles is doing more works. What do you guys want a game of more this year? I mean, just what is it you'd like to do a little bit more of?
You got a desk.
Game-wise. We would like to do a little bit more, probably some Team Yankee and some armor battles, which is where we started many years
I said we're going
ago.
to try to get this upcoming year doing maybe an RPG, trying to get one of them started.
In this RPG, if we're gonna role play, I do not want to have a job. I want to be independently wealthy, and I can do what I want.
No.
Don't. What do you mean no?
No.
Yeah, no. I if I'm gonna do that, then I want my character to be,
You're
have
gonna be
something
poor.
fun. No, I don't want my character poor. Make him poor. He has to work. Guess what?
It's
Gotta
war
roll it.
based, man.
Here's
You're
your-
gonna be poor.
Here's a D20. You better roll a 20, otherwise you got to get called into work on your day off.
That happens anyway.
So I don't want my character to do that. Damn it. But you know how that goes. So yeah.
Wow.
Mythos, that's funny. Let's see. So role playing there, Mythos.
It's Batman. Oh my god.
What?
Brian.
Batman fantasy. Brian says Batman
Because
fantasy?
Bruce Wayne is, rich, and then he has this like dark
Yeah.
little fantasy of being
Yeah, but
the savior.
Mythos is like me too. Who wouldn't want to be Batman? I mean, Bruce Wayne.
No. You could be so many other superheroes. Don't pick Batman. He has nothing. He's kind of a creeper if you think about it.
Really? Well, what about Wolverine? He's kind of cool. If I could be a character.
But think about it. Batman's a creeper. He hides in alleys.
Okay. Wow.
Unfortunately, I can't say the other half of that.
Yeah. Don't go where I think you're gonna go. And on that, Mythos, I have a special die that I lopsidedly put in the microwave and cooked for a few seconds, so it should roll correctly. So when you reach over and say, "Hey, babe," well, you got to roll. Then you roll the dice that are going to roll in your favor, right? Well, I don't know. Sometimes our conversations go off the road into the ditch, hit the mailbox and crash, and take out a few small animals along the way. And then we just get back on the road and keep going, just like, well, that didn't happen. But that's part of the fun. Because if you don't have fun, well, then what's the point? Seriously.
Even Charles was trying to give you a better option.
Charles, that's a good option too. Iron Man, rich, intelligent, brilliant. And I get to fly in a suit. Yeah.
You could be Thor.
Thor? Oh, that would be your fantasy. Because
Tommy, technically he's a prince.
Ashley,
so you got all your money you wanted.
You always thought that
He
actor
can fly.
was cool.
He can control. He has powers.
And I could get a big stereo, put it on my shoulders while I'm flying around, and play Hammer Time. Right? Because he's got a hammer, so it's Hammer Time. If such a song existed way back in the past, So there we go. Actually, my fantasy would be able to do more gaming. That's kind of a weird fantasy, I guess. I don't get as much time as I want to do these things. So that would be the fun part, just to have more time. So that's why I'm saying, if you're going to role play, then I want to be a rich person with no responsibility and just money like some of the elites, and do that. Doc Savage before all of them? Well,
Savage. Why can't I think of who that is? I'm just drawing a straight blank for that one.
you're drawing a blank.
For Doc Savage? I'm drawing a blank.
That's what I was going to do with it. Put all that ultramarine blue on it and then fill in the grooves and stuff.
Maybe I should just get you the freaking primer for this. You don't have to do all this crap.
Oh yeah, there was a song like that, Charles, something to that effect. I'll become one of those I hate. No, you know, I do. I don't mind working for my stuff. Just every once in a while, it'd just be nice to go. I'd like to go to Burger King today, but not put the bill off to do it. Ooh, look, I want to spend $50 at the hobby store, but I don't have to try to, you know, figure out what bill to put off. So, a little bit more money would be nice, but I don't ever look at all these people who are super filthy rich. They have too many problems. The kids are kidnapped, they're all strung out, they're whacked, they got to go into rehab all the time. It just, they don't, their money's not buying them happiness. It's just bailing them out of the problems they get themselves into. So too much money is a bad thing, I think, because people don't manage it. They just go nuts doing stuff.
They just then say they don't care.
Well,
I got I got $800,000. I'm gonna go out and blow it up on a new car and all this other shit. It's like, really?
I've seen a lot of that. People with that don't seem to care.
They just don't care.
That's what I'm saying. I just want to be able to play more, so make my character independently wealthy so that I can just game. But I don't need to go out and have fancy nothing. I just maybe a nice game room. Maybe one of those tables where, the inset tables there that you guys have seen.
Oh, where you can hide the game if you're
not done? Where the top goes over and it's a table, but when you take the top off, your entire battlefield's still there. That'd be cool.
There you go, Brian.
Yep.
That's how we kind of feel. We have our family, and that's all that matters.
Can't take none of the other stuff with you. Let's see. Charles, be Conan and crush all my enemies.
There you go.
I don't think I have any really enemies, to be honest with you.
Keegan.
Well, that's only on the battlefield, but I don't. But yeah, good point there. We're in World War II. That's all you need. And
yep. The greatest gift anyone ever give you is basically life and then family. Don't ever take that for granted.
Yeah. The second best thing ever invented was a coffee pot, though. Just makes drinking it easier. Right? Ashley's too busy painting her, painting the guy.
Well, I want him to look good.
Did you just insult me? Friendly little insult. Oh, I'm going to paint it because I don't want you to touch it, Greg. That's fine. I got enough painting to do starting tomorrow for this little challenge.
I got more than you do.
Yeah, you do. But it is what it is. And I need to get them painted anyway. So sometimes that helps motivate you. So I certainly don't mind doing a painting challenge here or there. I can't do them every month type of thing. Charles says a soldier, a wizard, and an immortal. Yeah. So living forever is cool if your entire family lives forever. But otherwise,
what's the point of living?
You gotta have. What the heck is that? A model down there? There is.
That's one of your Star Wars models.
Yeah, how do you get down there? It must have fallen off.
And Darth Vader's about ready to fall. I'm wondering when we don't shut the door.
That might shake him off.
It's rattling him off.
Well, I don't slam the door. Oh, hold on a minute.
He's going under the table, people. Who is it?
Huh?
Who is it?
Just a trooper. Good thing he's a trooper. He was able to hide out down there for an unknown amount of time.
Yeah, I don't know how long he's been down there.
Yeah.
That's your desk.
Well, I'll have to check back. I don't see anything else down there. That's weird. Hey, Frank, how are you? What
Wow,
are
Brian.
what are you working on, Ashley? You have to stop and show Frank.
I am working on an alternate print for, what was this one? This is a Dreadnought, but which Dreadnought?
Man, I can't remember.
I don't know. It's one of Greg's.
It's getting good now, huh, Brian? Well, sometimes you gotta get under the desk to fetch stuff that decides to hide down there. I'm just sitting here and I happen to look down. I'm like, oh, well, there's one of my models, but it should be on the shelf that's above.
I think it's between the dog shaking the door and all that.
Might be here. Let me show you what I mean. Move this around. That's my shelf with, wait a minute, right there. So there's my Star Wars Legion guys. So somehow he fell down. Of course, there's other stuff up there too. But that's what's above there. And a giant blue penguin, which
that's our son's.
Haunts me sometimes. But yeah, so that's where it fell from. Yes, Brutalis Dreadnought. Thank you, Mythos. I just couldn't remember.
It's gonna be a pain in my ass is what it's gonna be.
It's not gonna be a pain in the ass. Well, on the table it will be. Because it's pretty beefy, Mythos. It's a pretty bulky thing. Oh, thanks, Frank. And World War II. So yes, the Star Wars Legion stuff I want to print is the terrain. I don't need the models. I got enough for right now. But the buildings and whatnot, the Star Warsy type environment, I would like to get enough to do a game. Well, March to Victory, they had a huge Star Wars themed. Basically, it was all 3D printed, I believe, and they were all the Star Wars characters. They were using the Fistful of Lead rules for it, which you can do. But that's one of the things I want. That's why I said I bought the printer. For me, I just want to build some terrain. I'm good on figures for the most part, but terrain is kind of really where I want to do something with it. But somebody, won't mention who, burned up all the resin. Oh, cool.
I'm ignoring that because I don't know what
they got all the bunkers, buildings, and indoor trees. Now that would be cool. Good. And Tyler says Corbus has Star Wars terrain. Taylor, was it just Corbus is just the name, or is it something else? So yeah. There's lots of places to get the STL files from. The problem that we've noticed, like we said earlier, is just same thing with the filament print, is they're just sometimes, they can't be dead on anyways because of copyrights. So you expect a little difference. But sometimes the scale is
way off.
Yeah.
For example, these little guys are supposed to be 28 millimeter.
Yeah, no, they look more like a 6
They're about,
millimeter.
Yeah. 15 to 20, basically. So, but I think they're kind of cute, so I'm keeping them that way.
So you have many. Yeah, she's got a little. Well, you can see them there on the lower camera on those little bases. So she's keeping them not exactly. What you need is just. So
they're supposed to be the same size as my Termagants, or a little bit smaller than the Termagants. So these ones are about half the size of the Termagant. Actually, a little bit smaller than half.
You can resize it. You're right. It's just that when it says it's a certain size and you take the word for it and you print it out and realize it's not after you printed it, then you've got a whole bunch of stuff that you've got that. Tyler, no, the HTML links won't work on the YouTube chat unless you're the admin. So, like, if it was your channel, you could put the link in that you were doing, or Mythos or Brian or me, but if anyone in the audience that's out listening puts a link in, it won't let it do that. Yeah, Mythos. I agree with you. I think a good filament printer is best suited for a lot of the terrain, probably for most of it, just because the resin is going to do much more detail and little miniature stuff, which is cool. And some of the terrain I want to do on there, like I said, but it's going to be heavy. So yeah, so a good filament printer really does well with things like dice towers and bigger buildings and whatnot. You just got to get the settings right, get a good nozzle, some good filament, and a good printer.
What's funny is me and Greg have been talking about getting another one. Don't know when.
At some point, yeah,
but we've been talking about it.
Yeah, because Keegan's pretty much adopted the other one, which is good, and he's got a lot of things he's doing with it. But I think just if you have two, you could just do better, like the houses and stuff. So we'll see. I'll mess around a little bit, but ideally, any printing for me is mostly going to be about terrain. Yeah, Brian, and Mythos, you guys are correct. I could put a link in there, but so CorvusGamesTerrain.com, huh? Let's put that up there to show. So Frank's got a question now. Frank, this is going to be multiple people with giving you some hints there.
Well, we started with a resin one, and that's an Anycubic. No, for resin. Well, What are you trying to do? Are you trying to do resin or filament?
Well, just a good starting printer in general.
But that's the thing. Which one is he wanting to go to?
I would say what is it you want to print? So it depends on what you want to print there, Frank. Mythos has a very valid point. If you're going to do a lot of terrain, I think your filament, printers, the 3D printers are better. If you're going to be doing more miniature figures, the resin printers.
He wants to do his terrain. So I would say, yeah, filament one would be the better one. I would say probably, the Ender 3 wasn't a bad one. We had no problems with it.
Ender 3 is good. Anycubic makes
one.
A good filament printer too. If you shop around, you kind of get one that you can do for your budget, but I would get the best one that you could, because if you go dirt cheap, that's generally you kind of get the quality that you pay for. But some of these filament printers are very, very expensive, especially like the Purser ones. The Ender 3 is good. It's decent and affordable, Taylor says, and he's right. That's what we have. Keegan's had to replace the nozzle, the screen, or the build plate that you build on. Well, that's a good goal there, Frank. You want to do 3D printing and learn to airbrush. I've never done airbrushing, so that's something that would be really fun to learn. And I've seen a lot of people do amazing detail with an airbrush.
I've airbrushed cakes before, but I've never done a model. It should be the same concept.
Yeah, Mythos has got a point. Those are great goals.
Yeah.
Taylor, you're right too. It is a curve on the Ender 3. The Ender 3 is a good entry. It does pretty good quality once you get it tuned up. If you're gonna get used to, and they're affordable. However, once we bought this resin printer from Anycubic, I started looking at some of their filament printers. Boy, they'll do some really good jobs for a pretty reasonable price. And so it's all on what it is you.
Each probably company is going to have their downfalls and, pros and cons to each machine. I know with like the Ender Pro, when we were doing it, you have to slow the machine actually down, or you'll get, those off and on, you'll get those lines that just are off just a hair, but you notice them.
Yeah. So
because the machine's trying to go too fast. And same thing with even the resin. If you slow it down a little bit, it just becomes like more smooth.
And I've noticed that a lot of the selling points these companies are trying to push in the last 2 years or so is how fast this filament printer has the speed of this. Well, I don't think I would ramp it up all the way to its end speed because the print quality will be poor. But there's so many of them, man, that you'd have to just type in. But if you're going for terrain, I'd say start with the filament printing and go from there. Ashley's already made her money close back on what we spent just printing out her miniatures. She's done a ton of miniatures with the.
Yeah, I have.
So, and like I said, I want to try some terrain, but ideally the terrain is just going to be better the other way. Oh, Charles is going to try to get himself an airbrush machine for his Father's Day gift. Cool. Oh, you're welcome, Frank. You're welcome. Hopefully you can just dive in and kind of do it and take it from there. But that's doable. There's enough videos out there too that'll help you out. Lots of everybody that in the big group here, they all know what to do. You can ask too.
Honestly, you can pretty much ask anyone that's on our channel, basically, that has a 3D printer, either resin or filament.
Well, that's what we've been doing with the resin. This is the first time we've had a resin printer, so it's,
actually, did I spell it wrong?
What are you looking for?
Oh, I didn't even add it. I didn't add it enough.
What are you trying to
trying to find the one that Taylor said.
Oh. Go back up and look for it.
I found it, but it's not.
Can't reach the page.
CORVSUS. Is it games? Oh, I didn't put the S. There we go.
You found it?
3D printable tabletop terrain.
Okay, so I actually found the Corvus site.
Ooh, bundles.
Oh, nice. There we go.
Back to the Future!
Is that what that is?
That's sure in hell what it looked like. Kinda.
Well, they're a bit expensive though. $30 for an STL file.
This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 files in it for $30. So that's not that bad for the bundle. So it's, you got, this one, there's one here, there's this, and there's this, and then, each of these, and you got this.
Yeah.
All right, so.
There's money to be made on the designing end of it for sure.
I believe it's what it looks like is going to be 28 millimeter, not 15. Yep, 28 to 34.
Yep.
So I'll have to try to figure out. So the problem is resizing.
Well, yeah, because you can't just. No, actually, I've still got mine in my warmer here. Yeah, Colts is free stuff. But they have some really nice looking, very detailed terrain there, it looks like, on Corvus. So I guess it depends on what you want. I mean, if you're going to pay $30 for the STL files and print it yourself, then you're going to save some money. So. Oh, the Back to the Future time machine for free. That would be kind of cool. There's so many things to print. I mean, you're just never going to run out of stuff to do. I'm just trying to keep my printing for me goal oriented to what I've got and what I'm doing. Um, but yeah, still gotta try to find that 15 millimeter Western stuff. I mean, I can buy it. It's just pricey to buy, and I'm like, I don't want to buy it when I can print it one way or the other. But Frank, I think that's pretty cool what you want to do, like everyone else here does, and we'll look forward to seeing what you come up with, man. And let us know and share it. Share what you've done so we can take a look and see. There's just a ton of stuff out there to find. Oh, it's been an interesting year though. So a lot has happened, and we've got some things done, especially lately. So that's going to be a good thing. I think I'm just gonna have to stand out by the freeway and hold up a sign that says "Wife addicted to 3D printing, need money for resin." I'll bet you. I'll bet you somebody sympathetic will go, "Oh man,
Oh, shut
I know what that's like."
Yeah, whatever.
How'd you do today, Greg? Woo! Made $40. I can get Ashley a bottle of resin. Yep. Yep, and it was another guy whose wife does the same thing. So
6 millimeter sci-fi, 15 millimeter sci-fi.
there you go.
But sci-fi, it's not going to be what you really want. Outposts.
Well, I don't have any need for. Well, if you print their little BattleBot figures, you know, I mean, then you could do something. I mean, at least they have something, right? And bases. So
Yeah. They have bases. So, I mean, that's.
well, that's where I mean, you might maybe save some money for printing the bases. At least you could get some pretty nice, fancy bases that way. You bought some files from Hero Forge. I've heard a lot about them, but I've also heard if you have things done, it can be very expensive.
Here's Old West.
Well, Frank, everybody has. It's been a crazy, hectic year, anyways, for everybody. So, when you get back into gear, man, everybody here is wait. Will wait for you. You know. Okay, if you scale 28 millimeter by 0.5, you get approximately 15 millimeter scale. Scaling up, I think, would be much easier than scaling down, only because you got that line. Like I said before, 15 millimeter. This is your overall reference. So the tank's going to be this big, the person's going to be that big, the animal's this big. You know, they're not all going to be the same size. They're just all going to be. That's where I get messed up. Is you could set something to print at 15 millimeter if it's a tank, okay, but your people are not. You know, you set them to 15 millimeter, then they're just as big as the tank, or you know, and it's not workable. But there's a lot of people that have talked about scaling up.
Yeah,
So
everyone scales up.
For us, it'd be scaling down.
We have to scale down.
What is that one there?
These are all 28s.
See, but some of that could be used for. Well, that would be awesome right there. So here's all Old West Bank, Old West Sheriff.
I have all these, but they're way too big.
Yeah, they're way too big.
And I got ours for free. It's just it's the problem of scaling it down to our liking. I would have to literally print one of the front of the buildings kind of thing, and you know, have one of the guys right next to it. Okay, this is, you know, it needs to be bigger. It needs to be smaller.
Well, that's because if you were able to design this stuff, you could just whip it out pretty quick. So Frank says, Do you lose details with scaling up proportion wise?
Um,
Taylor says a bit, but it's acceptable. It depends on how big. I don't know. What do you guys say, Brian and Mythos and anybody else? I don't know.
I didn't notice anything about scaling up wise and losing detail. Now scaling down, it just squishes everything.
So that's what I'm saying. You need to learn how to proportion the thing to the correct size. Or, you can print them like Weird World War II said, and then just see, and then print again, I guess, which would work. I just don't want to print 3, 4, 5 times trying to figure it out. I wish I could just do it
Yeah.
easier. So there you go, Frank. Mythos and Brian both said to scale it down would be easier. And I agree with them on that. It'd be harder to find the flaws. Scaling up, if there's a flaw, it's just going to exploit the flaw. Yeah, you just have to try to see. So I guess there, Taylor, it'd be like, what is the formula that these companies go off of when they make their 15 millimeter stuff, like Battlefront, for instance? You know what I mean? That might work there too, Brian. Just find a file that has a good scale and use it as a reference for everything else. That's what he does. So yeah, it'd just be a matter of playing around. But if you're going to start off there, Frank, I would get a filament printer and then just get yourself some free files to test how your print quality comes out, because that's a lot of it too. I mean, you can print something, but you want it to be nice. Yeah, theirs is already done. See, they got a sale going on. Actually, I was looking at theirs.
Yeah, but they send you it looking like this, not an STL.
Yeah, that's right. It's printed in that wood-looking filament. It's ready to go.
So.
Oh, so no one's 28 millimeter is the same. And Taylor, Team Yankee, as an example, a building will represent more of a city block. Yeah, see, and we could use some more buildings for our urban Team Yankee stuff. And there you go, Frank. So your urban stuff, just as an example, would work for other urban-based games of the same scale. For us, we do a lot of stuff at 15 millimeter. I mean, other than Warhammer, the rest of everything we deal with is pretty much 15 millimeter. So we have some 6 millimeter, but that's just armor. So yeah, your terrain should be able to work for multiple game systems. Like I said earlier, at the March to Victory, they had 3D printable Star Wars stuff. Which
Star Wars is all 28 though.
But what I'm getting at is it's scaled across pretty good for it's unofficial terrain, right? Because it's just people down making these and printing them. But they were using official Star Wars characters and then a different rule set. So the terrain could also be taken out for any other sci-fi type of game, I think. See, in that place, anyways, that you're looking at, Ashley, all that stuff, you could pick what scale you want. When you click on it, it'll be 28.
Some of it, yeah.
Well, most of it that I found. Well, some of it's not the same company there. That's different things.
No, this is off of Etsy.
Oh, the other one wasn't at the top.
No, it went through Etsy, so it's this printable scenery. And they are the ones that do 15, 28, 32. So I was just looking and seeing. Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of detail. I was just hoping I could find some STLs that ain't gonna be an arm and a leg.
Well, there's a lot to look at. I mean, it just depends on what you want to try. But you're also going to have New Year's sales too, Frank. I mean, if you noticed, they use everything to have a sale these days. You know what I mean? Every holiday, every whatever that comes up, there's sales for everything everywhere. The sales are almost always going on somewhere.
Like this, it's $80.
Yeah, but look at all the
you
buildings.
get 43 buildings.
So that's you can make an entire town.
Uh-huh.
So and if you paid for it at roughly $20 a building, you'd be spending a lot of money. So that would be one to save for somewhere down the road. See if you can find something like that.
It's about $1.88 per model.
Well, then that's cheap if you look at it that way. That's $2 a file for something as detailed as that. And so somebody had to design it. You didn't have to design it. And you can print as many of each of those as you want.
What size it is.
Well, that's where you message the person.
Message them in general, yeah.
Yeah. But go ahead and just try something there, Frank, and see what you think. I mean, it can't hurt if a print fails. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's just like if you make a mistake painting, you paint over it. You get a print that doesn't come out right, and just throw it away and figure out what you did wrong and do something else.
Like my last print that I have those little guys that are sitting right here. I ended up breaking. It's the light with that. Oh no! I lost that arm. There it is. There we go. Ended up breaking the little arms off it or busting a leg. So I was going to reprint along with one other guy. And it just went and we started the washing machine not even thinking about it halfway through. And it turned from printing just fine and then it turned boxy.
Because the washing machine vibrating, you know, when it spins and stuff.
So it screwed up that whole print.
It messed up the print. So just things like that.
It happens. I mean, unfortunately, that was the last of my resin, but it is what it is. Greg has a point. I needed to let it rest. It was going literally nonstop for about 4 days.
What?
Fort Alamo. That'd be kind of cool.
What?
Fort Alamo.
There you go.
It's all STLs. Digital files.
Yeah, but you know, see, that's a nice fort.
That's all of it. You get it all.
Alamo, yeah. So there would be this way. I know you guys can't see it, but it'd be a really fantastic kind of.
I can shut this off.
Whoa. Here's an idea for you, Frank. Just
there we
go. An example. That's a whole.
This file, this is off of Etsy. It's $17, but you get all of this that you can print. So that's something. I mean, this is what I do. I mean, I got literally 99% of my prints off of Colts.
For which she received a badge for the amount of downloads.
I didn't realize I looked up and downloaded that much.
I get a notification in my email. I'm like, Ashley earned a badge. For what? For that much, yeah.
So I have this over here so that way you guys can see it. So this is just basically my 3D model stuff for the resin.
I can't see it because on this side it's
okay. Hold on, I gotta figure out a way to get it up higher. without knocking anything.
That's only some files.
Oh no, hold on. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 files inside this file. So like my Tyranids. So one of those files I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 files in that file. Then if I click another one, there's another like 7 or 8 files. Yeah.
Mizo says he was addicted to Etsy before he got his printer. Yeah, Etsy has some cool stuff. I ordered for them before too. That's where I got that big Team Yankee map, that 4x4 or 4x6 foot map.
This
Plot
is
map.
everything I've already printed.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Plus those. Well, let's see. Kilobytes. Yeah, they're all kilobytes. 113 kilobyte or 1,000 kilobytes. 357,000 kilobytes. Predominantly, it looks like my Walker was the most out of all of them.
Which you haven't finished yet, have you?
No,
Yeah,
I threw away the little one. I'm going to reprint them.
Oh, okay.
Because I ended up busting off a couple of the little pieces when I dropped it.
Yeah, Keegan already knows about all that. He's found some pretty good stuff too. I mean, you're gonna find something you like, Frank, no matter what, because there's just a lot out there to pick from.
Ooh,
But
windmill.
I would just shop around for the best deal you can get on a filament printer
Can girls.
and go from there. What?
Can girls. All right.
Is that what it says? I can't read it from here.
Now it says Undertaker. Hold on. Undertaker and Barrel Guy Miniatures. Saloon Civilians. So you got a bartender, the pianist, an Undertaker with a dead body, a barrel guy in a barrel, and can girls. I think that's what they're called. Basically, it was the prostitutes. Back then, that's what they were.
The saloon girls, yeah. There you go, Taylor. My resin cast stuff. I got molds, and you can just have fun with that too. Yeah, I made quite a few things that way. It's actually one of the things I kind of miss doing, and Ashley needs to find her army for Necromunda.
I found one, but Greg that I liked, but Greg had it, so I can't use it.
She comes up to me and goes, "Look, babe, I'd really like this army." I'm like, "That's my guys. I already have them."
So, yeah. Hey, there's an orc.
Mythos agrees with Keegan. I mean, but you got a good point there, you guys. You can look around. You're gonna, I might need this one day or that, and pretty soon your computer's full of files. When we got the filament printer,
that's how
was the thing. Now it's all over again. Now that this resin printer's here, now Ashley's getting awards.
Well, I have it all
downloads.
going to my external, so that's the only good thing with me right now.
Keegan says all the sandbag walls you made are brick walls. Actually, I've made brick walls, sandbags, and, your gone to ground tokens. Ashley, no more.
Yes, I need these. They're the Death Leapers. I don't have them.
There's got to be somewhere out there I could take her to get her help.
But they cost money.
Yeah, like you don't need nothing scary like that. You already have a bunch of scary stuff.
Oh, I'm trying to find a harpy. Is what I'm trying to find.
The files for like the castle and all that stuff, Keegan, are
We
already
still
full.
have them, I believe.
And Keegan's right. He says you don't need them. You just want them.
And Keegan doesn't need to put a blade up on his Segatars either, but he wants that now, doesn't he?
Keegan
It works both ways there, Keegan.
Keegan wants to put a snowplow on his.
It helps. It's
Photon,
some kind of
yeah.
like melee. Helps with melee or something. He was saying.
It helps with crowd control and clearing the crowd, basically. Frank says, "See what I started? She's shopping. Yeah, she's quick to shop."
But the thing is, I have no problem going and doing free things.
Oh,
That's my thing.
Taylor said, "Hearst Arts has nice molds." Now it depends, Keegan. When you have an addiction, it's not a want; it's a need. Oh yeah, you do got a grinder blade on the front of your truck.
Or is it a grinder blade? Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you for the likes. I don't know who's liking it. Most likely it's iDoc. It's the only one that's showing.
Yeah, we appreciate the likes, you guys.
What are we at
actually,
right now, time-wise? We got about 10 minutes before that's going to cut us. That is badass looking.
Why do I smell something burning?
Nothing's burning.
Are you sure?
Look at him. That's just badass looking.
Yeah, you just don't.
I already have him.
Well, take it back.
It's not that kind of design. Here's another one of the same guy.
So Frank says, what small scale games are you playing? So the scale is mostly 15 millimeter and 28.
I'd say predominantly our lowest one, is 15, but he's in the process of trying to come up with a 6 millimeter.
No, I already have the tanks.
No, well, you're painting the rest of the guys for it.
So
for it. I mean, we have tanks, but he got little, thanks to Charles, little 6 millimeter apes.
They're 15 millimeter.
Or 15 millimeter apes. I'm
6.
sorry, 15. And then I ended up, he wanted cowboys because someone mentioned that.
That was
so
Brian.
That took a long time to try to actually find 15 millimeter.
Well, something that would
some
work.
kind of cowboys that he liked.
But
so he ended up with the Texas Rangers. Is what we ended up getting. So.
But what small games he was talking about? So, Team Yankee, the Gale Force 9 tank. Still, we do that. The other games,
the one that's basically on the table right now is Zvezda.
That's predominantly, basically, it's not true scale, but it's meant to represent.
I think that's actually 28 millimeter.
And
but it's all hex and counter.
Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core.
I got
Star Wars Legion.
What else
Warhammer.
do we have? Warhammer, Zombicide.
It's the 15 to 28 millimeter. That's it. We don't have any 54 millimeter or anything.
What would be the Cells of Glory and Wings of Glory and all that?
Those are 15 millimeter.
Those are 15?
Yeah, I think the one is Oak and Iron is scaled off that. They're ships, Ashley.
Yeah, true.
So.
Well, X-Wings has to be bigger than 28.
But he's asking what games, and I'm trying to answer him. So those are mostly the games we play. Mostly those two scales of games.
Nope.
But you can see how it varies. Oh, but yeah, you guys, it's been a...
I can make a giant bed, but I want him!
Why?
He's cute!
It's a monster with how many eyes?
9? 8?
That's just creepy.
8?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8. It's like a screwed up. No, they only have 3 feet, so it's like a half breed of a.
Who knows? It's just
Spider?
weird. Yeah. And a plant. It's weird. Okay, so Frank's playing Star Wars Legion, Bolt Action, and
Okay,
AOS.
that's 28 to 32.
Yeah. Bolt Action we haven't done yet, or more likely for us along those lines is like Flames of War. Star Wars Legion we got, and we like X-Wing a lot. So it kind of varies a little bit, but mostly, like I said, it's those two scales that we generally end up with.
I'd say, yeah, predominantly that's what it is. See, it's these that he shoots.
Oh,
and then they float around. Every move they move, and I don't believe you can destroy them.
Oh, wow.
So he shoots them, and they just basically sit there.
And they move around. Is there directions they move in?
I have to pull the thing
There's
out.
got to be a way to do it. Taylor says Bolt Action sucks. All right, Keegan, you got to get going for the thing you're doing. So thanks for coming by. Ashley can answer you on the cell. She'll do that. But yeah, you guys, I mean, everybody's got things they're doing tonight.
Wait, answer off the cell, huh?
He said shoot him an answer off the cell later.
Oh, my phone's on. There.
Some of it, Taylor, just depends on.
How's his?
gameplay.
Didn't he have a squirrel army?
Yeah, Taylor, I forgot. You're the one that found me the squirrel army at some place, and I know I
don't
wrote
remember.
it down.
We wrote it down somewhere.
I literally can't find what I wrote it down on. Yeah, Bolt Action scale is more like, isn't that more like 32 or slightly bigger?
Oh, I found him!
My goodness, Ashley.
It's gonna cost me though. That's gonna suck.
Why? What's it cost?
$10. Well,
$10 for the file?
but the thing is, that guy alone's probably 60.
So why don't you look that up? Ash. She's trying to prepare an onslaught of Tyranids.
Oh, eventually I'll have every single one of them. Yeah, I'm getting them. The $5 ones, that's them.
Okay,
They're called Death Leapers. And you can blame Hellchild on that one. Yup. That's him right there. 16 wounds.
Wow, nasty.
Alrighty. Save that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, what else do this person have?
Well, I can find Albedo, but oof.
I don't see any other ones I can use. Yes, I can, right there. Already got them.
Albedo minigames. Is that a .com? I just tried to find it there, Taylor. And Frank says for 40K as Space Wolves and Orcs. And Mythos is good, man. Actually, there you go, Frank. I mean, really, you're not going to go wrong with those. Oh, no spaces. Yeah, I tried running it all together.
Well, let's see. For Warhammer, Greg has the Imperial.
Just the Space Marines.
Yeah, just
Ultramarines.
the Ultramarines.
That's it. That's all I got.
I have the Tyranids, and then also I took the Black Templar from Greg that I'm starting. So I have 5 of them that I'm painting. Our granddaughter, Greg went without food, and I got yelled at because I bought my granddaughter some Blood Angels.
I didn't yell at you. I just was wondering what you spent at the store because my car got declined trying to get lunch. But that's okay. Back scratch, itch. Well, I'll have to try to see if I can find it, Frank, because no spaces.
All right, hold on. Spell it. What are we looking for here?
Right here.
Yep, hold on. A-L.
BEDO. DO. Mini games. Maybe she can find it.
Not game. Games. Nope.
For me, it brings up games made by them, but like and not all games, so I don't know.
Is this a website? What am I looking for?
That's one that has the squirrels, Ash. We'll see if we can find it there. No, that's obviously not a squirrel. Well, you guys, I think we'll go ahead and end it here so you guys can get on with your night too and your dinner and your family and your fun. And we just want to say thank you. Yep. Is that it there? Save that.
It's called the War Games website.
Okay, so save that. So she found it there. So thanks, Taylor. We'll see what we can do. But we're going to let you guys go on all the channels that you're there. We appreciate it. We wish you guys a good new year. Have some fun tonight, but be safe about it so that you're there for tomorrow. Tomorrow, the painting challenge goes into effect. So I guess I'll get cracking on that tomorrow and see how that goes. And we appreciate you guys. We really do. And we want to thank you for just being there throughout the year and being able to hang out. So, Frank, we're all waiting for you. We'll all be here when you're ready to post some more stuff, man. So when you're ready, you do that. And you guys take care, all right? But we're going to let you go so we could go ahead and get going. We got some stuff to get to. Yeah.
All right. Everyone on Podbean, thank you for showing up and liking.